good to have you in person in Toronto. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Okay, so you literally just got off the plane, probably still jet lagged. So grateful again that you took the time to spend some time with us.
Of course.
You're coming off your 5th long course world championships. You are now continually breaking barriers in this sport. I'm gonna give a second where I get to just shower you with love. Your bronze medal in the mixed medley relay at these championships extended your streak, or your medal winning streak. You've won at least a medal at every major championships or games that you've competed at since 2015. That is a decade. Kylie, can we just take a second? How does it feel when I say that?
It feels good. It's something that I feel like I pride myself on over the last number of years, and I'm really excited to say that I've been able to continue that for so long and to just prove to myself that I can continue to show up on the international stage.
And I just want to give you, I know you say that, and everyone will continue to tell you how incredible you are, myself first and foremost. But I was an athlete. We were actually talking about this because we were trying to figure out, somebody asked me oh, at Worlds, Brittany, how did you do? And I'm like, I've never swam an individual event at World Championships because I was only good every other year of swimming. So the fact that you have done this for 10 years in a row, I cannot begin to explain how unbelievable that is, and the consistency and the way you show up for your teammates. We're gonna break it all down, but I do wanna ask you, knowing that this year came with a lot of question marks for you. You know, you finished in Paris, you started resetting with your life. Where do I wanna go? What do I wanna do? Did you come in with lofty goals of this season I want to achieve blank, or was it really just day to day, try to figure it out?
Yeah, that's really interesting because I feel like the entire year I was trying to figure that out myself. And I think as a high performance athlete and having been in it for so long, I found out that I'm always going to have these high expectations for myself, even though the journey to World Championships was very different and, like I said, very inconsistent compared to what I was doing for the last 9 years before that. But it was challenging to change my expectations of myself because I still, even though I had a different, training situation and different lead up, I still wanted to be going fast times. I still wanted to compete against the best, and I still wanted to prove to myself that I can still be there. So it was challenging, but I feel like I had a lot of personal growth through that journey, and I'm happy I went through that.
Yeah, well, you say you're literally racing against the best that have ever been in the field of backstroke, right? Mm. The girls that you're competing against have toyed around with the world record, you included, over the last 4, 5, 6 years. And you're still going at it. And I think you say that. It's natural for you no matter what. It's the familiarity of being in the meet component. It's the familiarity of the same girls you've raced against for at least the last couple of years, but almost 8, 9 years at this point. And you must get in the pool, and you're just okay, same competitive nature. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming everyone watching this was watching Worlds, but in case they weren't, your kind of resume of the weekend or week. It's an 8-day competition. This is a long one. 4th in the 100 back, 4th in the 50 back, 3rd in the mixed medley relay, I mentioned, which was your 10th long course world championship medal. Unbelievable. And then 5th in the women's medley relay. Just talk about general, if you were to assess your performance, how do you feel overall about it?
Yeah, I think right now I'm able to have a little bit more perspective than I did in the moment right after the races, and I am really proud of what I was able to accomplish. Again, it stings not being able to get on the podium individually, and again, always wanting more for myself is just, I think, a standard when you're at this level and have been competing at this level for so long. But I'm really proud of what I was able to achieve given the year that I had, and just really proud of the way that I was able to continue to hold myself and be a leader on the team.
Yeah, the best leader. And honestly, I'm so glad you say that you're proud of yourself, because I cannot explain how proud I am of you. I wanted to quickly ask, just in general, about that medal streak. I mean, we say it, and as a member of the media, which even is daunting for me to say, but as a member of the media, we're constantly finding those taglines, right? And that is one thing that's defined you for quite some time. Do you feel pressure to continue that?
I think I do. I think I felt a lot of pressure going into Paris because, I felt like I knew I was capable of continuing that. And I feel like, to be honest, going into Worlds this year wasn't something I had thought about, because I think I just maybe had lowered my expectations a little bit, but just considering the lead up that I had. But I think it was still in the back of my mind on something that would be really cool to continue that legacy for as long as I can. And yeah, to have been able to do that with the relay was, again, something I wasn't expecting. Like, that relay is so crazy, and every time I've been a part of it, it's so unpredictable. Like, I know I said that to Devin in the mixed zone, but it is so, like, it's not over until the very end. And to have been able to be on the podium was something really special.
Yeah, what a team that was. I mean, you have everyone from like you and Taylor who have been through it together for quite some time. And then like Josh has kind of that experience on the men's program, and then Oliver Dawson in his first ever relay opportunity on the long course stage. Like, it was really special. And one of those, like, you come in, I think after that race, it was pretty clear to me just watching from the outside that all of you, that was definitely something you were rooting for or shooting for, but it was by no means like, you know, a massive weight or expectation on all of you. But I think that brings out some of the best in swimmers, which is great. You mentioned the fact that you're a leader on this team. I'd love to ask you, you know, has it, not that you're in the reflective point in your career yet, but has it set in that you are one of the most successful swimmers that Canada has ever had?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe a little bit after Paris, I feel like it started to sink in, but yeah, it's not something that I've ever really sat down to think about too much. I think that's just the nature of our sport, and always moving forward and always looking forward, which, you know, I don't totally agree with now. I think over the years I've learned that it's good to be able to reflect a little bit more, and I've learned to do that within the last couple years of my career. But no, it's a privilege to be even considered, if that's what people are saying or the media say.
The media, led by Brittany, always saying, riding Kylie's. It just really is incredible, because I think in your journey through success, there's always been other athletes. And of course, you can't control that. But it started with, like, your rise was in 2016, and that was the era of Penny initially. And then in 2021, it was the era of Maggie McNeil. And then now it's Summer. And there's always been somebody with you. And I feel like you've been that one constant, which I feel puts you in a little bit of a, it's a beautiful thing, but it also is like, it's probably a bit of a challenge too, because it's like you're navigating your own, like, where do I fit in this whole like team and this journey? Yeah. I do want to ask you about the team though, because you're always talking about the team. It has been something that's really kind of forefront for you when you go to a big meet like this. You've now been on the national team for a decade. You've seen it all in terms of, you know, the highs, the lows. Rio 2016 was your first kind of really big senior international team. What was different about this team, or unique, or something that stood out to you?
I think it's been really cool to see the focus of the athletes continue to just get more and more like dialed in. And not that it wasn't back in 2016, but I think just watching people that are new and rookies to the team come onto the national team and just immediately kind of know what the expectations are, and know the momentum that the years of swimming in Canada has given them, and knowing that they want to elevate to that and be able to achieve great things has been really cool to see. And I feel like it's a testament to the environment and the culture that has been created over the last number of years, and just seeing young swimmers grow into that and really take that on as a challenge and as motivation has been really, really exciting, I think, for swimming in Canada.
Yeah, it's almost like that shift of, you're no longer just going to qualify and you go to trials and you're like, great, I'm on the team. It's like now you're expected to shoot for finals, to shoot for medals. And like even those that were outside of what was considered a realistic medal threat, which like Tierney, which I want to get to with you because you're a backstroke girly, you know, why not, right? Like you're chasing for different things and you're putting yourself in the position to fight for those medals, which is great. You did mention rookies, and I want to ask you, because I was going to ask if you had any behind the scenes fun thing. Do they still do rookie skits or rookie game?
I tried so hard for a number of years to continue that tradition, because it was something that I loved and something that I feel like, I mean, was obviously like scary as like a rookie going in, but I feel like it just brought the group together and was a great bonding experience. But we haven't done that for a couple of years now, but we try to do like a team bonding night, a games night, where we kind of make up some random games to play together, relay games, trivia, and we put 2 teams together and like the winner gets some candy or whatever. But it's a fun experience for everyone to get together and to meet each other for some people because like I said, this year, I don't know how many rookies we had, but there were a number of new faces on the national team, so it was great to get everyone together and get to know everyone.
It really is so much, and I do understand that like things evolve and this can't really continue anymore, and I know even just for like university teams that has shifted a little bit too, but I have such fond memories of rookie skits and rookie nights, and like, do you remember what yours was for Rio?
Kind of. I remember we had to like sing a song.
Yeah.
And I remember...
It was like a jingle or something you had to make it about,
Yeah, it was fun.
I remember my, because you used to have to do it for your first senior team and then also for your first Olympics.
Yeah.
So it was like, you got to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which is great. I did one in 2011, my first one, and Chantel Van Landingham did it with me, and we were just a hoot, and we thought we were, 17, like anything was funny. And you're on this, again, talk about rookie skits, like some people they seem so mature and they're like 25, 26, and now that's you being the mature one and like teaching the 17-year-old, you're having so much fun. You're learning. That's the thing. You used to make jingles about teammates and that you had to like learn little anecdotes about them or like find out fun facts. And like probably one of the hardest I've laughed was at Martha McCabe doing a rookie skit back in 2012. And it's just like so fun to see how they've evolved over time and stuff. We used to do commercials and infomercial. So fun. Okay, well, maybe we'll bring it back one day.
I know, I hope.
But I do love that you're still doing some sort of team bonding because I think that is important because at the end of the day, you're strangers with a lot of these people going in. And then you kind of have to rely on each other, turn to each other. Yeah, like I can't imagine you and Oliver Dawson had a ton of time together before that relay. And now you're standing on the podium. And like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, oh my gosh, these like legends that I get to be on a relay with. I do want to talk to you a bit about Summer McIntosh because, the biggest sports story in Canada right now is on this young 18-year-old quest for 5. She wasn't shy to share her goals this year. It was very clear that she wanted to win 5 gold medals at World Championships, wins 4, breaks history in many, many ways. I wanted to ask what it was like being a part of it, being on the team with her, just if you have any reflections on that experience.
Yeah. No, it was incredible. I think it's been really cool to see her journey over the last couple of years. I mean, starting when we swam together back at TPASC and she was 14, just like seeing how much she's grown in these last 4 years has been really, really cool. And the thing that I think is the most impressive is just the way that she continues to carry herself through the meet. Like you said, 8 days long, obviously a grueling schedule for her with her 5 individuals and relays on top of that, and just continuing to show up every day with the focus and desire to achieve what she wants to achieve is really, really admirable. And, through the highs and the lows, just like managing your energy on a normal day in that intense of an environment is challenging, let alone when you have such expectations on you and just such expectations on yourself. It's really been a privilege to see her, break barriers and continue to, crush history and put together some incredible races that the swimming world and the sports world has yet to see before.
And I love that reflection because I think it really is, in one sense, she is just one athlete on a team that's, much bigger than that. But I think it does allow the rest of the team to, like, there's a whole new I was going to say new eyeballs, but there's a whole new audience watching swimming right now in this country. And I think to be able to make the most of that and like lean into that and get excited by it, I think is really special. And it's cool to me that the team has a chance to really, like, I hope that this summer people are starting swimming for the first time, because they're watching what you guys are achieving on the international stage. With that, I am curious for you if you have an overall highlight. I'm calling it like the performance of the meet, something that stood out to you that you were really impressed by at these World Championships.
I would say 2 things on the topic of summer. I think that 800 race, obviously, there was so much hype and so much attention towards that race. And I just think, like, even just superficially, to have, that much attention to swimming, period, is insane. And I'm so happy to see. And 2, to have that much attention to a distance event, as you would know, is really, really cool. And I think Katie also said that in a little interview snippet that I saw, was just to have that be one of the most exciting and watched races of the World Championships is huge for swimming, because typically people turn away in the longer events and aren't as
dialed in.
We know it. So that one, I just feel like it was really cool for our sport, and it just continues to show the sports world that like swimming is exciting, and even the longer events, and hopefully we can just continue that energy.
Well, and with 100 to go, 3 girls within 0.4 of a second.
Yeah.
Like, we teed that race up big, and I know the whole swimming world did, but it did not disappoint.
Yeah.
It was electric.
Yes.
Like, and they were halfway through, they were all under world record pace.
Yeah.
Lanny Pallister, the race of her life to keep up with the rest.
Yeah, and they were kind of like exchanging throughout.
It was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. I also have a second one though. I think shout out to Blake, as we previously just mentioned. He had incredible swims in the 200 and the 50 and the 100 on the relay as well, just breaking so many barriers for him personally, and I think to just again see him rise to the occasion and the opportunity that he had. He really just like seized the moment, and I think it's great for the men's team moving forward.
Yeah, he was one of my highlights of the meet too. I can't agree more. Like, you set a Canadian record at a major championships, that's hard enough to do. But then to continue to get faster in it, to consistently perform, you know, he was going into the final, gave himself a shot, finishes 4th. Like, that was pretty cool. And then on the relays, leads out to a Canadian record.
Yeah.
Coming off the trials where he was a little disappointed to not get the 100 individual, and then to go lifetime best in his 2 and his 100. Like, what a way to finish the season. I agree. Like, in terms of a performer of the meet, like somebody that really rose to the occasion, I got to give a lot of kudos for Blake Tierney. And I am excited for what's next for him. So,
yes,
and like you said, the men's program, it's always going to be building.
Exactly. And Ethan Eck also shout out. He did amazing as well, 400. I think he was 9th, if I remember correctly. Like, huge best time. Like, could have been in that final, which is an insanely stacked
final
race as well. Like, talk about, you know, a race of the meet. That's always one of the most talked about, I feel like. So for him to put himself in a position on his first national team, that was pretty cool.
So cool. Yeah, he would just rip like a 5-second best time in the prelims. I'm like, that is somebody that's coming to Worlds and getting like valuable experience to take away for next year.
Yeah.
Before we move on from team, I know you didn't get a chance to watch all of your mixed zone interviews, but we are going to watch one of them, and I want you to kind of listen and reflect on what you had to say after your final race of these World Championships.
Okay.
At least for me personally, every time I get the opportunity, I try and come like out of myself, and because I know it's for more than just me, and you never know when or if you'll ever get an opportunity to be on one again. So I try and just cherish that moment, and I feel like that entire 100, I was just like thinking about the girls and doing it for them. At least for me personally, every time I get the opportunity, I try and...
Oh, second goes. But you always get me emotional on the last night. That medley relay, for anybody that doesn't know, is always final night of the competition, no matter what. You leave it all in the pool. Like you said, for the girls, giving it your all. How did you feel on that last night and listening back to that?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, I'm like so tired still. It's probably been like a couple minutes since I swam, which is crazy. I feel like every time I look back, I'm like, I'm so out of breath still.
That's
where to get it together.
You never look like you're on the older end until that, and you're like, damn, I've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, I need a minute. But no, I think, I mean, nothing changes from what I said there. I think it's great that in Canada we have domestic competition for those spots on that relay, and it's never given. Like, it's never, it could not have been me in that final. Like, it could have been Ingrid, it could have been Taylor. Like, there's always competition now for those spots, which is incredible, and to just see the growth that Swimming Canada has had, you know, to develop the depth for that relay. So I think I was just like noting to that it could not have been me, and I was really grateful to have the opportunity to be on that relay. And it's something that we've had so much success in previous years, and we hope to continue that momentum, and we were striving for the podium, which we obviously fell a little bit short of. But yeah, I feel like I don't really know where I'm at in my career, and I'm navigating that as we speak. So to be able to reflect on the opportunities that I've had and just the times that I've had with those girls who I've been able to swim so many relays and so many races with was really fun. And I feel like that was to encapsulate that that mixed zone interview.
And it just like, it really is just constantly in that relay, like you said, there's always, you can't take for granted your spot on those teams because it can always be taken away. And we saw that with Sophie. Like in theory, at trials, she got beat in the 100, but she always shows up on this relay. It has kind of become her thing. And then Summer gets pulled kind of late. We don't have a butterflyer. Let's toss in some, like, it's ever evolving, and you're going to get to be that, you have the opportunity to be that leader, and you don't, it's really cool to me to see that no matter what the year is, you don't take it for granted. You've been on it now 10 years, but it doesn't matter. Every year is a new year that you have to earn your spot. And that's really cool. And kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
I do want to ask you about the international storylines, because you come to a meet like this and we're not there, so we didn't get to feel for it. There was definitely a weight cast over these world championships, and it came in the form of an illness that was going around the pool. I'm sure to this exact moment too, nobody knows exactly what it was or how it happened. The Americans started feeling sick in their training camp, and then it trickled throughout the meet. How do you kind of go through a meet trying to stay healthy, not letting that get to you? You already have enough weight of the world and trying to perform. How did you kind of react to that, what was happening, and how did you keep your composure throughout?
Yeah, it was crazy, honestly. I was thinking about it throughout the meet, and I was like, I feel like this was crazier than COVID was. Like, I mean, COVID was its whole, like, a whole nother monster in the sense of protocols and things like that to manage at the meet, but I felt like it was almost like every day I was hearing of someone new that, you know, fell to this illness, and it was evident, but it was also kind of taboo, as like no one really knew where it was coming from or like who was actually affected. It was just kind of assumed based off of results and interpreted based off of...
Yeah, it's like, you missed that final that you should have been in.
Yes,
you were probably
so it was this weird, like, are people using this? Is this actually happening? Yes, I believe there was something going on.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. Like, it was, you know, like, as I said, every day I felt like you would hear of someone else, like, or you see someone else wearing a mask, or there was another team that pulled out of a relay or pulled out of a swim. And it was challenging. And I feel like I'm really proud to say that, like, Team Canada as a whole came out, like, pretty healthy, and we were able to mitigate any illnesses. But it was not easy. I think continuing to just, like, be aware of obviously who you're around, what you're doing at the pool, away from the pool, at the hotel. Obviously teams are sharing hotels, everybody's eating in the same, like, buffet, not like a game style where everybody's together, but there was multiple different hotels where different teams were at together. So just being extra cautious of your personal hygiene and, like, trying to do anything that you could to continue to stay healthy throughout the meet. Which again is something, another layer of the competition and performance. And I'm just, like, so proud of our team to have been able to mostly stay safe with that.
And that is, like, not only the physical side of, like, trying to stay healthy, but, like, what a weight to carry to try to be like, I wake up every day and somebody else is sick and the noise is heavy and you're just like, you know, did I swim in their warm-up lane? Like, that's how my brain goes. And I'm like, how close did I congratulate them after the race? Like, immediately, I was, every time somebody got a medal, I was scared. I'm like, oh, don't touch that. Like, and it does remind me back to COVID days where you're just, like, immediate fear was ingrained into you. But I was so impressed, like I said, with you guys to just, like, continue. You had business to do. As long as you physically continue to wake up and were doing okay, you had to try to, like, zone that out in a sense, but it's so much easier said than done.
Yes.
Like, I am amazed.
I think it was cool too, just to add for, like, the outside world, like, perspective to know that, like, these things happen. And just because this World Championships, it was obviously a lot more than I feel like in previous years, but there's always, like, something going around. There's people dealing with things, sickness, injuries that, like, are sometimes spoken about and sometimes not. And I feel like it was almost cool for, like, the world to see that this was going on, but people were still able to, like, get up and manage this and manage their illness or manage their injury and be able to put together some really, really amazing performances.
Well, and you don't get another chance, right? Like, you wake up no matter what, and the 100 back happens that day. Like, you, like, in theory, if you were very, very ill, you don't compete because then you're also putting other people at risk and all that stuff. But it doesn't, you don't get another chance tomorrow to be like, I want to do my 100 back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like it just,
Rain check.
I'm the perfect example. I won my Olympic medal with pneumonia.
Yeah.
Things happen, right? Like life happens and people don't always know that.
Yeah.
And I think this really does put it on a little bit of an extra stage or shines a light on it that like people are going through a lot at this stage. And sometimes you just have to continue to wake up and go through the motions and try your best because you're human. And you could do everything right for 364 days of the year. But on that 365th day, something goes awry and you've got to figure it out. And that's what training, there are days in training you don't feel great and you just kind of try to get through it. Because one day you could come to race day and you're not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
You guys are superhuman. You amaze me. I do want to ask quickly, whatever you're comfortable sharing about, it was evident on our side that Team USA, there was some drama stirring. Started with the illness, for sure. But there's been constant talk, lack of CEO. Some of their biggest alumni, Michael Phelps, Ryan Lochte, have spoken out that they were disappointed in results. Was there any energy on the pool deck that you felt from the negativity around the American team, or was that really just like, didn't notice it?
No, yeah, I thought it was pretty admirable too, because I felt like even with the whole illness and whatever else was going on in the media, like I never felt like I saw that on deck. I feel like they constantly showed up with purpose and with drive, no matter what the situation was. And that was something that I actually noticed a number of times. I was just like, wow, you would never know what's happening if I didn't like look online or because no one was like talking about it either.
It is crazy too to think back. Like I know it's only been like 10 years since your first Olympic Games, which is still crazy. But back in 2016, like we weren't getting a ton of pressure from Instagram DMs or comments or the white noise. It feels like it's heavier now that there's expectation. It's a platform to be able to elevate yourself.
Yes.
But it also adds a little bit of like outside voices have a little bit too much say.
Right.
And like you said, if you're just in the meet and focusing on that, then you're not really aware of what else is being said about you. But people talk.
Yeah.
And the swimmers that were actually competing seemed to do a really good job of like getting the job done. I know that women's medley relay on the last night, they put kind of like a stamp on it. Like not only did we win this gold for Team USA, but we broke a world record in doing it and like made a statement that we're still here.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was a pretty big way to end the meet.
For sure. For sure.
One quick comment I want to ask you about was UZD. You and I had that very fun chat back in, I think it was May, when the 12-year-old phenom was going, top 10 times in the world in 200 IM, 200 fly, 400 IM. She just finished her world championships and she came fourth in 3 events and won a medal as a member of the 4x200 freestyle relay. Still only 12 years old.
Yeah.
What was it like witnessing that?
Yeah, insane. I feel like I'm speechless in the same way that I was when we first heard her time back at her trials. But yeah, to just like see what she was able to accomplish again on the big stage. I feel like people were probably questioning that after her trials to see, okay, is she going to be able to replicate that again on the big stage with her against her competitors, and to just see her be able to do that repeated in multiple events was really cool. And I think she's definitely one we have to watch for the next couple of years because it'll be exciting.
Yeah, like just off the podium by like 1/10 of a second. Yeah. One was to Mary Sophie Harvey, which thank goodness we were on that side of it. But yeah, like 1/10 of a second in multiple events. Like this is teeing up to be those versatility conversations where we have an athlete that can do a lot. But think of like when we were 12, our coaches were putting us literally in everything.
Yeah.
So it's like she's doing that, but at Worlds. We were doing that at like the local provincial meet. Yeah. But like, go off, girl.
Yeah, and like safe to say we could see her in a whole new set of events.
Totally. She could be a 1500 freestyler next year. We never know.
TBD.
200 breast.
Yeah.
I love this. Okay, I do want to do a little bit of a look ahead with you because it would be a shame to me to not. I know everyone's curious and I know you don't have all the answers. But with that, just reflecting first, I speak a little bit about Rio, and that was the beginning of a journey for you that's been incredibly successful. I have such fond memories of us at the Rio Games. Oh, there's one of them. I think, to me, that was where I saw the flicker of magic that was Kylie Masse, and I want to ask you if you could tell Kylie 2016 a message from where you are right now, what would it be?
Ooh, I think it would be Probably to just continue to find the joy in the sport and continue to see the joy, because I think there was a number of years where the joy had been clouded or was clouded, as I think happens when you're so focused on swimming and only swimming and wanting to achieve your goals. You begin to narrow everything in your life to dedicate yourself to your goals that you want to achieve. So I would say, yeah, continue to like just keep it light and not be so serious, but obviously be serious.
It's serious. It is what got you to where you are. I totally agree.
Yeah.
It is so hard, and it's so much easier to say after the fact. Like someone was saying, like, I literally have, I treat myself. Like I have chocolate breakfast, lunch, and dinner at least a little bit. Yeah. And I joke because I'm like, when I swam, I was so particular about like never treating myself, whatever. And like, I wish I could just have a little bit of like, be a human, like let yourself, because then I retired at 22. It might have given me a couple more years of longevity. I also laugh when I think back to the early days of your career, because when you broke that first world record in 2017, it's actually incredible I'm able to sit on this chair, because it was my first ever media gig, which I don't know how they still gave me a mic. But I was calling your world record race for FINA then, now World Aquatics. I was jumping up and down. Should not be allowed and I was just so excited for you and what you were achieving. And like, I reflect back. I hope you know that like what you achieved also gives so many of us memories to look back on with like such fondness and pride, because like that was such a career highlight for me. And it really skyrocketed what I am so passionate about doing now, which is so special. So yes, your world record back in 2017 is one of the reasons I'm sitting in this chair today. So thank you for that. Looking ahead. Mm-hmm. You're in, we spoke after Paris. It was a big question mark. Mm-hmm. We now speak after Singapore. Yeah. What's next for Kylie Masse?
I would love to say I like have figured things out, but I haven't, and that's okay. I feel like similar to where I was at after Paris, but I feel like I've had a lot of like personal growth through this year, which I think has been really exciting. But yeah, still navigating what I want to do next, and I don't know. Yeah, I really don't have that many answers, other than I hope to take some time over the next couple weeks and really think about everything and just see where I'm at after that.
Not committing to LA 2028, but is it still a potential?
I think so, yeah. Definitely a potential, and things that I'm thinking about for the decisions that I want to make, yeah.
I love that. And I know in Olympic sport, we think in quads, and it is a lot of daunting of like, what's the next Olympics? But I think it is a nice kind of like human reminder that you don't have to have it all figured out yet. And you just have to take it day by day, year 100%. By year. Like this year went better than you expected. You had fun again. You're finding joy. You still have that passion. What's still motivating you right now?
I think there's a part of me that feels like I can still be better, and I have like room for improvement in the sport, which is motivating me to want to continue and find those things and work on those things that I feel like can get me faster. And just the honor of being able to represent Canada and being able to be a professional athlete as my job is something that's kind of crazy. And I hope that, it would just be great to be able to continue that for as long as I can. I know I'm not going to swim forever, but to be able to capitalize on, what I've been able to achieve and, just continue to better myself in and out of the pool, I think, is what motivates me.
And you said you won't be able to swim forever. How do you want to be remembered in this sport?
I think first and foremost as like a great person, as someone who had went through highs and lows but did it with grace and humility. And I think the consistency one is big for me, because there are a lot of people that come onto the scene and disappear, and that was something that I never wanted to do from the start in 2016. I wanted to be able to go in 2017 and be able to continue that, and through to Tokyo. And I never thought I would be still here, and it would be consistency for this long, but I'm really proud to be able to say that I've done that, and hopefully continue that for as long as I desire to.
I love it. A decade of exceptional swimming, phenomenal leadership, and so much to be proud of.
Oh.
Kylie, I'm so grateful. Before we move on, it wouldn't be an episode without a no cap.
Can't forget.
So, which by the way, I should have told you, bring a cap, please, next time.
Oh yeah.
Next time, because I'm always out recruiting for new caps. But we are gonna do a no cap with Kylie Masse. So with that, okay. In athletics, the 100-meter sprint is the marquee event, the main event, the one that gives all the excitement. What do you believe is the swimming equivalent?
Ooh, I mean, like I would say the 50 free, the men's 50 free, just because it's comparable in track to the 100-meter. It's like the fastest person from point A to point B. And it's the most exciting, I think, for people to watch. But I feel like it could change.
I agree, and I'll give you, like, we can have a conversation about this, because I do think I answered this in the office yesterday, and I couldn't come up with it, because if you Google it, the answer is either the 50 or 100 free.
Yeah, I guess 100, yeah.
But I do believe in our sport, it's not that black and white.
No.
Like, there are so many years where if, like, in your event, for example, the women's 100 backstroke has constantly been this, like, best on best battle for a while. And to me, that's more exciting right now than the women's 100 free is, or the men's 100 free by that matter.
Yeah.
This year, the men's 100 free was pretty exciting.
Yes.
But then you have some years, like this event, the marquee event of this World Championships was the women's 800 free. Like, I think it does depend on the matchup of who's racing in each event.
Yeah.
And it's less about the actual event itself, whereas in track, it really is just, like, the fastest and the most, like, it's the blue ribbon event, what everyone's watching. And I feel like in swimming, it's not that simple.
No, I agree with you. I think it definitely has to do with the matchup and the race itself. Like the person that's seeded first, maybe through to eighth, like how tight are they, and what's the difference between, first, second, and third? Because I would have to agree. Like, I was gonna say the 100 backstroke, but I didn't want it to seem biased. But I do think that because the race between Kylie and Reagan, for years they've gone back and forth, and I mean, to speak on Kylie's consistency since Tokyo is insane, and like she has got to be like one of the greatest out there.
Yeah, and
she is one of the greatest out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get to you're in that race with them every single time, and it is so phenomenal.
And it's like something that people are continually circling back to watch, because they want to see if she can back it up, who's going to win.
Right. It's so true. I think every year it's different depending on the event. We'll tune in to find out what next year's marquee event is in swimming. I'm always asked that question and I can't come up with the answer, so I wanted to throw it to you to see, like, hey, do you have any input on this? But I agree. This year I would always put the 100 back, and it's not, I don't think it's biased to you. I put the 100 back in there. I think it's exciting, it's fast. The thing about swimming is you don't have to know the rules. Like, there's not like, it's not like a team sport where you're like, you have to know the play call or whatever. It's just like first person to touch the wall wins.
Yeah.
One of the sprint events probably would be considered the marquee because nobody's sitting down for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I do think there is something to be said for like the stroke 100s.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the 100 free is any more or less exciting than the 100 fly or the 100 back or the 100 breast.
I mean, the men's 100 free was also really, really good.
Yeah. This week, oh my God.
Yes.
The lineup was
so
the most
dense.
stacked.
Yeah, and it was so fast, even compared to last year.
Yeah, it was way faster than the Olympics already.
Yeah.
So that's like the exciting place that our sport is in now.
Yeah.
Before
we just
I let
have
you go,
multiple marquee events.
multiple marquee events. I love it.
Everybody should watch.
Before I let you go, when we were at trials, you mentioned your favorite treat for post-race was a donut.
Oh my God.
Congrats on a great season,
Oh
Kylie.
my God.
We're so proud of
Thank
you.
you.
We're thrilled for you.
Oh my
And
gosh,
thank
what a
you so much
treat.
for being here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.